one of the most important things for me is that I can do quick little shoots like this, where I roll a light out, attach a lens to the camera, plug in the computer, and it's good to go. It just makes it so much easier for me if I want to have a quick play around, I've got a quick idea that I want to try and execute. It stops me from having to really put any effort into being creative, which is a real easy way to stop yourself from getting work done. However, there does need to be a certain amount of sense and sensibility to the studio so I can go around and photograph the weed grass that I'm about to feed my cat. Very important stuff. So in this video, we're going to look at how I organize all of my equipment, pack my bags, and a bit of the process that I go through to make sure I can work easily and efficiently. The way I work means that my studio will never be immaculate. It's not one of those pristine, crisp, clean, white things. It's a place for building and a place for creating, and that's it. We're not trying to be anything else. However, I do need to be efficient. So what we need to do is sort out all of this kit that I've procured. Hoarded. Hoarded is probably a more accurate word. Go through all of these bits down here, pack all the bags, make it nice, sort it out, and just make the whole place more efficient. Got some new deliveries to sort out. Got a new picture of Moggy in a coffee pot down here. Can't see her face, it's hidden by some Amazon junk. There we go. Got some new coffee to try, which is also exciting. And then the office is kind of ready. I'm going to do a new studio tour soon once we've got it a bit more as it should be. I'm still waiting for new computers. But Ben Q kindly sent me loads of stuff, so I'm sort of Ben Q'd out over here. And then I think this is going to end up having a curtain covering it because so we've got stuff like the paper tubes that my food photography backgrounds I sell go into. We've got props for days. And then over here we've got Moggy's little catchy where she naps. We've got more props which have overflown. And generally it needs a bit of a sort out, and it's so important to have everything right. It's so important to be efficient and quick at working. So I'm not going to put everything away, but everything needs to be in a place. I'm going to crack on with that and then show you exactly what I've done, why I've done it, and then I'm going to go into how and why I pack my camera bags the way that I do. And we're kind of there. This is all of my kit, kind of. There's a lot more to it than this. This is my like day-to-day kit. So what I'm going to do now, if Moggy lets me, is go through each case, explain what's in there, why it's in there, how it's in there, and then go around the studio and explain all the little bits that make my life that little bit easier, much like all the pegboard. So this will be a corner you're familiar with, and in this massive flight case are my lights. But the way I do it is I put my two most popular lights on top, plus two packs for them, plus the grids and all that sort of stuff is ready to go. For those who've seen my big hazy light, which is one of the flamingo stand, that's the main light I use at the moment. So that's always plugged in, ready to shoot with, no messing around. The next two lights will be the two pulso heads with the spill kills and the grid. So it's all just, it's done in a sort of what will I need quickest, first, most often. And then inside the case is another 8 heads, which I'll use less often. And then if I'm going to dive into there, it's sort of a bigger shoot anyway. Then behind that, I've got all my grip on a pegboard, including staplers, glue guns, hot guns, heat guns, hot guns, flash meters, color charts, all that good stuff, all up there, intervalometers, the whole lot, all ready to go constantly. And then in here, we've got my YouTube lights with the blue and the red background. My power cables are in there, and the gels are in there to power these, not power them, give them the color as well. So it's all in one box. We just open it up, get them out, and we're good to go. I'd love to have these permanently set up for YouTube videos. It is the most annoying part is setting it up. But at the same time, I can't really justify the space when I only do probably 1/10 of my working week doing YouTube videos. And then in here, I've got my most used styling kit. So it's not everything, I'm going to go through the whole lot in a bit, but this is the stuff which comes out in every shoot. You know, your tweezers, scalpels, toothpicks, compressed air, that sort of thing. That lives on the gin trolley, and that gets wheeled around the studio so it's nearest to the food. Now this is a new bag, so new that I've not cut the tags off. I've been sent this, I'll be completely honest, it's called the One Mo by PGY Tech. Now I needed a rucksack for my YouTube stuff. So in this pouch here, I've got my microphones, I've got my Rode mic, I've got my wireless lav mics, I've got a small LED panel, hard drive. There's a hard drive in every bag, so you always need one. 70D with a 1740, Gorilla Pod, spare mic batteries because I always leave these on, bit of tape for the lav mic, and then the media which we shoot onto. So this bag here, this is my behind the scenes assistant bag. I've got two 5D Mark IIs, a couple of hard drives for backing the stuff up. Memory cards are attached here. We've got batteries in pouches, but they're all charging at the moment. Then lens wise, I'd normally be a 70 to 200 here, 24 to 70, 85 and 100mm primes, then all your gubbins and bits like that. Pretty much set to go. We're missing a few bits because I've lent some out and some of it's filming this, but it's mostly there. There's also the bag where any backup stuff for my kit would go. Say we're in separate hotel rooms, the backup 5 DSR would go in here, and some backup duplicate lenses would pack into this think tank bag. I've had it for about a decade, hence the slight yellowing to the plastic. It's a proper workhorse of a bag, very impressed with them. So this is my main camera bag. This is the we're going out shooting. Here's the first version of everything. So this is like a complete kit. Nothing changes. We've gone for the foam cutouts because it travels better. This is a little bit better than the padded fabric ones where they bounce a bit. So it's main camera 5 DSR, 100mm macro, 45mm tilt shift, 90mm tilt shift, 50mm 35. This is what comes on every job unless we're doing a big production when we rent kit. It's a 50 megapixel system. It's good enough for most things, but there are times when we need something a little bit bigger. Lives inside a Pelly case. And we have TSE locks for these, so it's all good to go. Pretty happy with the setup. It says grip case, but it's not anymore. It's my Speedlite setup. So I've got 3 Canon Speedlights. I've got 3 battery packs, 2 sets of triggers and receivers. It's sort of good for that run and gun portrait work when you're in a real rush in a real tight spot. So I don't unpack this because I just feel that it's so niche that I'll need it. I'll leave it like this. If we do need it, we pick the entire bag up and walk out the door. So a lot of this is about keeping things simple and easy. When you have so much kit, there has to be some sort of system, and I'm still working mine out. Now, in terms of the bags, I'm a little bit more advanced on that because for years I shot on location. I didn't always have this big studio space. I was often humping kit around. And the way that I've packed my kit is that each bag has a purpose. So rather than having bits all over the place or like one bag just for lenses, one bag just for cameras, it's like this bag here is my behind the scenes bag. This bag here is my YouTube kit. This bag here is my audio kit. This bag here is my main shooting kit. Yeah, it sometimes gets jumbled up a little bit, but the premise is that every single bag has a task. And that way, when you need something, you just pick it up out of the storeroom and take it off with you. In terms of what I own, obviously there's quite a lot of kit in here. And just from the bags alone, it's more than most people would ever need in their lifetime. But it's a way that allows me to do jobs quickly. So for huge productions, obviously we rent it in. I don't own £3 million worth of really expensive kit. But if someone phones me today needing an ad campaign shooting tomorrow, no matter what they need, I've got the stuff here to get the job done. Might not be the best way to do it, but we'll be able to get it done. And that's what my kit's about. And that's why I have the kit that I have. With the lenses, they're all very specific lenses so that everything's covered. And if something breaks, I've got something very close to cover it. And then through to the lights, we've got the lights, we've got the backup lights. But again, if it's a huge campaign, tens and tens of thousands of pounds, we rent in the big kit. We have all the latest blonde colour lights, the latest phase 1 backs and the blue ring lenses, all the good stuff. But day to day, we just don't need it. But what I do need is the ability to work efficiently. So we've looked through the bags and now we're going to look around the studio because there's far more kit in the studio than there are that goes into the bags. And it's all the little bits. And this is a work in progress. I'm slowly evolving it. So I've not put stickers on any drawers yet. I'm sort of seeing how it plays out at the moment. And then if I like where things are, I'll do a few jiggle around. And then I'm going to put labels, my lovely label maker, on everything. So it's easy for assistants to find as well. The aim is that I can pull out a shoot instantly. If I have something cool turn up, if I want to take a picture, if I've taken a picture of my cheese plant, it's the other way, I'm looking at the screen over here. There we go. There? No, there. Cheese plant. I just fancied it. I thought it looked nice in the lights. I thought, oh, do you know what? We'll get a nice little study of that. Take a picture of my cheese plant. Good times. So I need to be able to do that all the time, which is why there's so much kit visible to the eyes. In my old studio, everything was packed away. It looked beautiful. I had wooden floors. Everything was hidden behind cupboards and stuff. But if I ever needed to do anything, it was such an ordeal to set up. Everything had to be taken out, built, put together. Whereas now, it's all on the walls. It's all good to go. And I'm going to show you around at what I've got, why I've got it, how I've sort of organised it for now. I also want to hear how you cope with this, because I'm sure, like me, it's easy to keep hold of a camera and a lens. But when you've got 30 different screws and adapters, they take a little bit more planning. So let's start over here at the workshop. This is where I build the backgrounds that I sell, paint them up, fix stuff, build the studio, maintain the studio, keep it all going. And it's vital to me that if I need a drill, here's my drill, and it's good to go. If I need an Allen key, I'll just pick it up. I'm not digging through a toolbox looking for stuff. Likewise with my chargers, everything's out, everything's accessible, everything's labeled. Nick that from Casey Neistat. It's a great way to do things. And it's the same here with the grip board. When I need to build something for a shoot, this is the logical place to have it. My grip board's here, and I'm more often than not shooting just here. So it's a very logical way to do things. So all I have to do is pick up the bit I need, be that a super clamp, some clips, a bracket, some sort of adapter, and I can just crack on with my shoot. And then these are my new drawers. So this is where we keep all the bits. This is my styling cabinet. So we've got the Posca pens and scissors. Brushes and tweezers. And it's all the extra bits, anything that I'm going to need on every single shoot. For example, I'm not going to need slush powder or stay wet every time, but I'm more likely than not going to need Q-tips and perhaps some cocktail sticks. So the common stuff is out and ready to go, and then we sort of pack it all into drawers, and then we go further and further back into the storage in the office where it gets deeper and deeper storage. So down at the bottom, we've got the knee pads, any sort of spongy stuff for working on a concrete floor on our hands and knees. Very important. Then we've got some mirrors and cotton wool buds, syringes, pipettes, all that sort of stuff for dabbing and moving bits of liquid about. Bottle styling, bit of gas, bits and pieces like that for styling again. We've got a meat saw, which is for hacking meat to give it that nice cut look. Some different types of tapes and putty, pins, clips. Then over here, this is for lighting. So we've got our reflectors. We've got the bits of paper that we use, the cheap gels, and we come down here into the drawers, angle finders, bits for tethering. We've got the fancy gels when we're doing something a bit more expensive than what we'd use the cheap gels for. And we've got these are really expensive. These are polarizing gels. These are like £100 a sheet or something daft like that. Only I get to touch those. Mains power for camera. And an empty drawer, which we need to find something to put in there. So it's all sort of reasonably logically put together. It looks chaotic, there's stuff everywhere, but I need it there to be quick. The same with my C-stands over here. They're all just built and out. Now we have more C-stands and more stands and deep storage, but in terms of general use, we have 8 out and about in the studio, just ready to go at any time. This cabinet here is going to be for all the YouTube bits that I need. So I'm currently using a DJI Osmo. So in here are my spare bits for my DJI Osmo. And then this bad boy here is my Tether Trolley, which has all sorts of good stuff on it. At the bottom, we have a multi-socket, which has a battery charging permanently in it. We have the electrics for the light already plugged in for the YouTube videos. We just have to attach those on. Speakers at the bottom, paper roll for taking notes on and diagrams, a toolbox for all the gubbins that we're using regularly. And then on the top, it's permanently running a time machine. I've got a spirit level with a laser. Then we've got the spider checker and spider screen calibrator. I've been given those for free. Didn't pay for them, but they are brilliant. So I highly recommend those. And I've got some anti-back because depending on when you're watching this, bit of a pandemic situation at the moment. And then this is my big salon stand. This is what I shoot on. So I've always got a screwdriver on there for the base plate. I've got a Tether Tools stopper and jerk stopper, the Tether Tools cable with a Tether Tools extension with a power boost. Got a Broncolor PC sync cable. I've got the mains camera battery up there as well, so just have to plug that into the tether table and we're good to go. And again, it's all about ease, making everything as simple as possible. And over here towards the office, I've got my softboxes on the wall, my modifiers, beauty dishes, spill kills. They sort of carry on around the corner. This isn't everything, but this is all the common stuff. There's some boxes below with additional bits, and we've got additional light stands stored here, sandbags, and all my cables ready to go, bits of tape, and a quick reminder not to come into the office, and also to socially distance at the moment. So I hope this video has been interesting for you. It's a bit of a long, meandering thought process one, but nonetheless, you might have also noticed a huge bruise on my forehead. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have known that a frying pan fell off the top of my prop store and thwacked me in the head, leaving me with a great bruise, which is only just starting to go down. Pretty lucky not to knock myself out, but there we go. I'd love to know how you organise your kit, how you pack your kit, what you're packing, all that sort of good stuff. And if you want to hear more about this sort of stuff and like the commercial world of photography, do hit subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.